Hi everybody, I'm PJ with Princess Craft RV here in Round Rock, Texas. Today, so excited, I'm going to show you the 2021 Cirrus 820. Now it's got the same sleek modern design that you've seen in the previous Cirruses, but a few tweaks, a few added features, you're going to love it. This truck camper weighs about 3,000 pounds, just under 3,000 actually, as a dry weight. Now with a wet weight, once you add water, include all the options, you're going to be right around 3,300. It's made for a 3/4 ton truck, a short bed. That's the 6.5 foot bed, not the 8. Now, if you like small campers and you're not really into truck campers, you might want to just take a look. Very comfortable, very cool. Let's take a look inside. Okay. I love the new light interior. It feels very open in here, and you walk into this large open space. It's got kind of a gray tone to it. Feels great. Right to the left here, this could be a pantry, it could be clothes storage, whatever you needed. And all of these cupboards have the positive catch on them. You push it in and it actually locks and it makes it flush. When it pops up, you have a handle to open the cabinet, and you notice the light comes on. This cabinet, as a lot of the compartments do on this, they have a motion sensor light at the top. Now there is a switch on all the motion sensor lights so that you can turn it on and off, but it will come on if you have it set for motion sensor when you open the cabinet. I think it's a great plus. There's a hanging rod in the top here. Now, there is the Alde system in the back corner, but you don't have to bother with it. It's there for access if you need to service it. On the left side, you can see there is a rear camera system mounting on the inside there, but most of it is going to be real open storage. Now, closing this, right underneath is light switches. Now this is going to be the light right above your door. The next one is the porch light outside, the light on the awning, and then this last button actually turns on your rear camera. So if you wanted your rear camera to work, you'd have to come in and flip that switch to turn on the power to the camera. And down below is the push button for activating your electric jacks on the outside. By putting it right next to the floor, it's an easy reach when you open your door to turn on the power to the electric jacks. Now inside the bathroom is a very unique space. It is a wet bath with the sink up against the back wall. Now when it folds down, you've got a large square sink with a fold-down faucet. Very convenient to use if you need the sink, large mirror in front of you. I love that mounting system. And when you don't need the sink, it folds up into the wall, giving you the full space for showering. Great system. Now on the left, you've got the handles, the European panel. You've got a single handle for the hot and cold, and then the shower handle actually adjusts higher and lower to suit whatever it is you need. On the right hand, you've got pouches for keeping your toiletries, and a hanging bar that folds down if you needed to hang some clothes or a towel up here. Something very unique is in the ceiling there is a light bar matched with a vent. So you can turn the light on and off and open a vent by simply turning the handle to actually give you some air in the bathroom. It is a foot flush on the toilet, the cover on the toilet paper roll. Very nice, usable wet bath in this camper. Now before we go any further, let's talk about the inside of your entry door. It is molded ABS, and you've got pockets, 2 of them right here, along with a long, narrow window. This window allows you to see who's out there if someone's actually knocking on your door, gives you a visual of what's behind you, and of course, a privacy screen as well. Down below, this is probably described as a trash can, but of course you could use it for anything. Most of the time, I see it used for holding trash bags or things like that that you could grab on the way out of the door if you needed them. Fire extinguisher is on the right, and the large handle actually has the privacy lock, the deadbolt when you pull it up, and it opens the door when you push it down. Simple to use. So I love the way the door is so useful. Now once we step out, we'll show you the screen door as well, because you do have a screen that pulls from the side here. Now the galley in this unit has large storage right up here. They do have a shelf, so it's separated into two different levels. You can store a lot right in these cabinets. They're about 12 inches deep. Next to that, there is the Easy Clean Contour Microwave. Now this microwave is standard in here. There's a convenience package that you'll see online that will have a lot of features on it. That convenience package you'll find in every Cirrus that's out there. So many standard features added. Now if you didn't want the microwave, it can be deleted and this becomes another storage cabinet. So keep that in mind if you're just not interested in the microwave. Otherwise, you've got a nice sleek microwave in here, not the full cabinet bulky sticking out in your way. I love the stainless steel look on the front of it. It's going to provide you a lot of good use out there. Now when you come down, I always talk about lighting. I think it makes all the difference, particularly in a small space. There is two sets of lighting over the kitchen counters. One of them is right here under the cabinet. The other one is recessed in the back panel. You can see over here, there's the back panel and the one up above. So you can get the lighting that works for you depending on what you're doing over here. The sink, larger than it was actually in the last 820 in 2020. So this is the 2021 model, bigger sink. I love the arched faucet. You can put some large items in here for water. The glass top Dometic range can double as a countertop, of course. You've got a lot of space if you're not using the range here. Or it easily flips up and you've got two burners and sparker with the controls so you don't need a match. All right, I love to just lift it up, put it right back down, and that gives you full counter space again. Let's look at storage underneath. Again, these latches that actually lock and recess are really nice. You've got the sink drain right here, but of course plenty of storage around it. And on the other side, shorter storage on the bottom. It's only about 6 inches deep, but on the top, you've got a full-size shelf that goes the depth of the countertop. So again, plenty of storage here. And to the right, you have a bank of 3 drawers. Now, for those of you that have seen our videos, you know I really like the drawers because it makes everything so accessible. The drawers are probably 4 inches deep and they run the length of the countertop, so you've got a lot of space right in here to work with. Now on the right of the galley, you have a control panel section right here. At the top is the Alde system. And this Alde system is going to be your hot water and your heat. Now, you can run the systems independently. You don't have to have heat to get hot water. And we get that question a lot. It is a touch screen, very simple to use. For full operation on that, you can check out our tech tours. It's Princess Craft Tech Tours. And it's our separate YouTube channel, which will give you all the details on how to run this Alde system. Below that, you've got the control panel that's going to have your water pump. It's going to have the ceiling lights on it right here. There is a light right here in the main cabinet. And underneath, the sink light and the accent lights that I showed you right here in the kitchen. Very convenient, very easy to use. Underneath, USB and the 12-volt plug-in. We call this a charging station, and 110 plugs. So if you have appliances that need to sit on the counter right here, very easy access to all those plugs. Now, behind me here, we have the 5 cubic foot refrigerator. It's a Norcold. 3 shelves on the door. Nice space inside this refrigerator. I like that it's very accessible right here. You don't have to lean over to reach it. A lot of times in small campers, they're kind of inconvenient. Up here, pull down freezer section, and the controls right there on the top. Underneath, you've got 2 storage cubbies. Now, the reason storage cubbies, I imagine, instead of cabinets, is because they want to use every square inch without having those cabinet doors get in your way. So these cubbies make it very easy to store things, to reach in and grab them. You've got netting on the front. They're about 5 inches deep, so you can get a fair amount of gear in there. There is a step right here built in for easy access up into the bed area. And underneath, this is going to be your converter, and the converter, of course, is going to take the 110 and convert it to 12 volts, since everything in this camper really runs on 12 volt. So that's right here. It's going to have your breakers and fuses in it. Very easy to access right here on the front of the step. Now, right next to the converter, you see this switch right here. That is for the 1200 watt inverter. That is actually in the compartment under this step. It's accessible from the outside, so we'll look at it there. But that inverter is great because it's going to take the 12 volt, if you're dry camping, and turn it back into AC current so that you can use regular household plugs to run some of your appliances or computer or whatever it is you need. It's going to actually give you a lot more options when you're dry camping. Underneath, this actually turns on the Smart Camp. Now, that is an app you can get on your phone that will control the fan, it will control the AC, and it will control the lights. It's an app you can turn on. This is the Bluetooth connectivity to it. So look for, again, some video on how that works. I bet nuCamp's going to be actually working with that app to add a lot of features to it. All right. Now, before we move too much further, I'm in this nice dinette. I want to tell you about the changes here. We have such a large, nice window right here. That's part of why this feels so open. This dinette, again, I'm 5 foot tall. It's very comfortable for me, but I'm thinking it's going to be comfortable for someone taller as well. There's plenty of room underneath this table. Now, there are only 2 options on this camper, and one of them is this lagoon table. You can get a standard dinette table that's stationary that fits here. It's a little larger table. We'll show you a picture of that. But this lagoon table makes it more versatile. Little smaller table, still plenty, I think, for 2 people to eat, but it's adjustable. So what you can do is loosen the handles down here. See the handles? You've got 2 of them right here. And what that does is that allows this table to move in any direction. You see how it can swivel all around, depending on where you needed that table. I mean, here it might be great for prepping food if you're cooking. And then if one person needs a table more than the other, it certainly can go to one side. The other thing that you can do with this lagoon table is loosen up this bottom handle, slide it out completely, and have an open seating area. That's a nice feature as well. Again, this lagoon table is an option that you can get on this. Otherwise, you would have the standard dinette table. Now, both of these dinette tables are going to fold down into a bed. You don't have to worry about that. The lagoon table and the standard dinette will fold into a bed that's 37 inches wide and 69 inches long. Nice to have an extra sleeping area. Now, the change that they made is a little bit different design in here so that you don't have any overlap with the windows. It feels very open. And now's a good time to show you how these windows work if you're not familiar with them. They are a dual pane acrylic window, so they're lightweight, very efficient. They're going to keep the cold and the heat out, and you undo these latches right here. Let me see if I can show you how this works. All the latches need to be undone, and the window simply pushes open. Now you can set it at any angle that you want and tighten it down on both sides. Now, the first thing you're going to ask is, does it have a screen? And of course, there's a pull-down screen here, and then you've got a privacy window here. These can clip together, so you could have it half and half, or have a little privacy and a little breeze at the same time. But this large window is what makes this dinette feel so nice when you're sitting here. Now, if you need to work at the table or just need to plug in some appliances, you do have a charging port underneath right here on the dinette side. And again, you can just undo this bottom latch, take this out completely if you wanted. Lots of options here. Fusion speakers underneath the cabinets, and let's check out the cabinets. Inside these cabinets, they're about 12 inches deep, and all 3 cabinets can open up. There is no dividers in them, so you could fit something fairly long in here if you needed to. I love the way there's lighting right above the table here. You've got 3 recessed lights in a panel, and then you've got a light strip right underneath. So you get some choices again of how to light up this panel, depending on what lighting you enjoy or you need if you're working at the table. Now, if you're wondering about storage under the seats, both of these seat bases are screwed down. In this side, right behind me, is going to be the Alde system. And in front, there's the water pump. So there may be a little space in there, but for safety purposes, that seating is screwed down and really not an easy access to storage there. On the end of this seat, there is the CO detector and the LP detector combination, and right next to that, a 110 plug. So lots of options there for plugging things in if you're working at the dinette. Now, opposite end, right up here at the top, Fan-Tastic Fan, 3 speeds, and it actually can go both directions. So this Fan-Tastic Fan can blow cool air in or warm air in, depending on what you need, or it could pull the air out of the camper. I love having those options depending on what I need at the time to get some airflow going. Now, right above me is the Coleman Mach air conditioner, and you have controls right on the bottom of it, and it's got vents on both ends, or you've got these down vents for what we call a quick fill, a quick cool. So I love the AC right in the middle of the unit, and remember, it is also controlled by the app. So if you're using the app, you can control it right from your phone. All right, let's take a look at the bed area here. Now, the bed area in this camper feels really very spacious. Now, I get it, I'm only 5 feet tall, but there's a lot of space up here. So most people would be pretty comfortable. It's 60 inches wide on this mattress, and instead of being the 80 inches long that you normally get on a standard queen at your house, this one is 78 inches. So 2 inches short. Very close. All right, the next thing you'll notice, if I show you, is going to be the Froli system underneath. Now I'm going to lift this up just a little bit. You see that? Now that system is underneath the mattress. It not only makes it really comfortable, but it also allows airflow to go underneath the mattress. So you reduce the condensation that can develop in a cab over. And you get heating and cooling more evenly distributed. So great addition to this camper, and of course, standard in the Cirruses. Now let's move around and take a look at the storage. Over here on this side, the plastic is so noisy, my apologies. I love the recessed lighting above the cabinets, but inside this upper storage, again, it's about 12 inches deep and open in the middle, so you can fit something fairly large in there. And you've got that same cabinet on this other side, complete with the lighting above it. And you notice when you open it up, you've got lighting inside it as well. Love that. Now in these front corners, it's a little different. You've got an open compartment here and a Fusion speaker on both sides. The Bluetooth stereo, it's an AM/FM Bluetooth, and it does have the HDMI plug-in and the USB plug-in. So almost every option there if you want to plug in some accessories or a DVD player. So on the right, there is the 12-volt Jensen TV, and it's on a swing arm, so you can swing it out, easily watch it from the dinette area, or put it back in place, and it clips back in for safety when you're traveling. Now there's additional storage on both sides. Let's take a look at that. Now in the front corners, there's two cubbies here. They are, the top one is probably 8 or 10 inches deep, and the bottom was maybe 15 inches deep because they're following the curve on the nose of the camper. But with the cubbies, again, you don't have to worry about those cabinet doors being in the way. You do have storage along the side here. Just lift it up. It's about 6, 7, 8 inches wide and not that deep, 3 or 4 inches deep, but it runs almost the full length next to the bed, so you could store a lot of things in it. I also like that when this is down, it's flat, so very easy to put your glasses, your book, anything like that right up here next to the bed. Now on this side you can see that in the center there is a 110 plug and a charging station. Now that's going to have the 2 USBs and the 12-volt plug-in, but on both sides of that there is more storage in this headboard. You can see a little handle right here where this panel can come off completely. Now this storage is pretty deep. My hand goes all the way down into it, and it is blocked off right here, so you're not going to have to worry about getting into any of the back of these plugs. But you've got these 2 storage compartments on both sides. That pretty much is the depth of this compartment. I believe the venting probably is something you don't want to close off, so right behind this back wall you'll want to leave that open. But very nice to have that extra storage compartment right there on the headboard, and that just drops right back into place. I like the LED reading lights on both sides, and how can you not like the big window on the front? Again, it's just part of what makes it feel so open. This window, as well as the windows on both sides, will open up. They are the thermal pane windows. This one is particularly interesting because it's going to open up on the top. Let me show you how that works. You push this open, and it's going to open up that way. You've got the same screens and the same blackout shade, but what a nice view of the stars and fresh air while you're laying in bed. It's awesome. What can I say? If you weren't wanting to open this, just opening the side and turning on the power fan in the center of the coach, it's going to get a nice breeze moving through here. So really cool to have recessed lighting here, recessed lighting above these. If you need a little extra reading light, you've got those. I love the feel of this camper, the way it is so open. I think I've showed you all the systems on the inside. If I missed something, please let me know. We'll try to answer all of your questions. And let's go outside and take a look at the outside of this great camper. Okay. Now, before we get to the outside, I'm going to show you the screen door. Remember, this has a built-in screen door. You don't have to worry about latching it to the inside of your entrance door like a standard RV door. You've got your compartments here and this screen door that just pulls right across. You can leave the door open, get all the ventilation, and then put it away when you don't need it. Love that. Okay. Now there's some interesting things you'll notice just on the outside of the door as well. Now this latch is a secondary lock that's available with the Fiamma handle. this handle, you pull down to release it, and then it swings in and latches right here. It's tight, so you have to really push it, and then you can lock it in place. Secondary lock system for your door. Now when you do open it, this little catch here is going to lock right into the side there to latch your door open. You don't have to clip anything in. Very easy system to work. Now while we're at the entrance to the camper, we're going to talk about how they design everything back here. The diamond plate bumper is unique to nuCamp, and I love the way it provides some decking and very durable. The large lights are housed right here, and the steps are mounted to the bottom. Now this ladder folds down when you need it and then clips right back up when you don't. Clips right into place. You do have a safety strap for holding it up, but great space here for sitting, storing your ice chest, whatever it is you need. The aluminum steps fold up really easy. Simple. I love showing off kind of the details in the back of this camper because they've really thought about how to make it usable. All right. Up top, there is lighting inside the molding at the top. That is your porch light. Lights up the door, the step, everything you need. Now, the other option that you can get on this camper is going to be the rear awning. You notice that right on the top. The rear awning and the lagoon table are really the only two options on this camper. Everything else is standard. And you'll find it all listed under the convenience package online. If you're looking at nuCamp, that's how it's all listed. But that convenience package is standard. All right, let's go around and take a look at some more of this camper. The Rieco Titan jacks. Simple to use. There is that control button just inside the door to activate the motors. Now you notice they have ABS doors here. I love the latches on here. Super easy to use. Just latch over to lock. They're got a real sleek look, and again, they do stay open, but they don't stay open all the way. It stays open halfway. Now that's actually a really good thing because this is the vent for your Alde system, so you don't want to be blocking that. Inside, you'll notice it's got the diamond plate walls, diamond plate sides, so this is great for maybe putting gear that's damp if you needed to store that in here. But at the top, I think we can get a picture of it, is the switches for the awnings. These are power awnings, but instead of having the switches inside the door, they're on the outside, which makes perfect sense. If you're outside and you'd like an awning, you don't have to go inside to actually bring it in and out. They are one-touch switches, so it's very simple to do. You just turn the awning on. They always have an on-off switch. Then you reach in, hit extend, and out it goes. So the same goes for putting it in. It is a one-touch motion. So you reach in the cabinet, hit retract. Now this feels awfully low to the ground right here, but it actually is going to be very accessible and easier to reach when this is a few feet higher sitting on the bed of a truck. So keep that in mind. Also, I love the feature of having the motion sensor light in this because when you reach in to turn on your awning, it's going to come on and you won't have any trouble seeing what you need in there. All right. Now these panels, depending on the camper, can come in white or black. So you've got your choices there. Right next to that, 110 plugs for any party lights, anything else that you need to plug in out here. And I love the light there that actually, whether your awning is in or out, can still be used to light up this side of the camper. When your awning is out, it's going to light up underneath your awning. Great feature the way that works. Let's look under here again. Now they have diamond plated the base of this entire camper. That's a really nice feature because that is where the truck is going to be and the wheel wells, so if you happen to have anything that moves up against there, it's not really going to do any damage. Besides that, it's easy to clean. Now, they do mark a center of gravity here, and so when you're fitting your truck camper, you'll want to be sure that you can see that center of gravity is at the axle on your vehicle or in front of it. Nice to have that marked from the factory. All right, let's take a look in the front. Along with that diamond plating, and of course I love the fact that this shows off the aluminum frame. This is an aluminum framed camper and it's got laminated fiberglass sidewalls, so it is sturdy, durable, and just top-notch quality. But they made the access right up here on this diamond plate with a compartment door that opens up to show you the 1200 watt pure sine wave inverter right here. Remember, we had the switch on the inside, right in front of the step, and 2 batteries that go on both sides of that inverter. I love the access to this right here. Closes right up. This is a sturdy door too, because this is what's going to be riding in front. Latch that right up. It is a tight fit and the handle folds down so it's not sticking out. You've got the window, of course, access and airflow into the camper. Electric jacks on both sides. You've got the same ABS compartment door here with 2 latches. Let's take a look. This is the propane tanks. You have 2 20-pound, 5-gallon propane tanks here with the automatic switchover on the inside. Venting here is for the propane area, and you've got another vent underneath. You know, propane is heavier than air, so it's going to drop down. You want places so that if you do have a small leak, it can actually get out of the compartment. Above it is the vent for the refrigerator. And if you look right underneath, there is a propane outlet here. In case you wanted to set up, say, an outside grill, you've got access right here to a gas port. There's a quick connect that fits right onto that. Now you'll want to be sure that you use the appropriate gas grill. Not all gas grills are great for connecting to RVs. And another center of gravity marker on this side. The 30 amp plug-in right here connects to the camper. You disconnect it here, disconnect it at the campsite, rolls up and fits easily into one of your compartments. All right. In the back, we've got more storage here, and as you can see, it's going to be a motion sensor light. And again, I mentioned it earlier, you can change that to an on and off light if you wanted. It is a switch on it that you can turn. Below here, another small storage compartment, and you notice the panel in the back of this storage compartment is going to be for access into the system if you need to do any maintenance or any service work. Now this bottom compartment is going to be your Nautilus water management system. It just really puts everything in one place, very easy to use once you get used to it. And again, you can check out our Princess Craft YouTube channel. It's called Princess Craft Tech Tours. And you'll get a little more information on how to do the Nautilus water management system. But basically, once you hook up your sewer hose and your 30 amp short cord, almost everything else you need is right here in this compartment. You'd connect the city water right in here. Now there is a compartment that comes from underneath, a hatch opens, and your water fill goes directly in. You'll also have your black tank flush in here as well. You do have a place to connect a hose for an outside shower, outside spray port, and it does have hot and cold handles. You'll also have the 3 drains for the cold, the hot, and the fresh water lines if you're trying to completely drain them. Now on the left is the gray and the black tank pulls, and you've got a 33-gallon fresh tank, 32-gallon gray, and 18-gallon black. So plenty of tank space on this camper. The hookup is directly underneath. Now again, it feels kind of awkward when it's on the ground, but if it's up on your truck, it's really easy to actually hook up all these connections. You're going to have to do a little leaning if you've already unloaded your camper and then decide to hook up the sewer hose. But the poles are easy to access once you're set up. You do have the city, the black tank. Now there's nice diagrams on here that's going to show you all of the settings on which way to turn the knobs, on if you want to winterize or how you want your water system to work. So if you want to see more details on that, check out the Princess Craft YouTube channel that has a more detailed video on how to use the Nautilus water management system. All right, that's Princess Craft Tech Tours. All right, you've also on here got the cable hookup and the satellite hookup on the left, and on the right, the water pump switch. Now remember, there's a water pump switch on the inside, but you've got one on the outside as well. If you're winterizing and you wanted to actually turn on that water pump, you can do that right here from this compartment. So everything is so available right here in the wing of your truck camper. And these compartments are so easy to work with. They're actually from the marine industry, so they're very tight fitting. They close really well. All of that really good if you've got your gear stored in here. Pull the handle down and you've got a watertight latch. All right, there's a few things we haven't talked about because they're on the roof. So let's talk about them. Of course, your backup camera right here, I realized we've missed that when we were talking about the back. There is the switch inside to activate it. And again, standard on this Cirrus 820. But if you go up on the roof, the other thing that's standard is the 210-watt solar panel that's up there and the Maggie rack. Both great features if you want to camp, maybe not in a campground and off the grid. There are so many great features on this camper. I hope I've been able to show you a lot of them, but if I've missed something or you have some questions, please let us know. We'll try to answer all of your questions that you have on this, or you can just call us here at Princess Craft. I'm PJ with Princess Craft in Round Rock, Texas. Come see us, give us a call, subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more walkthroughs, and I'll see you next time.